Hello to everyone. This is Ruben, and in this video, I'm going to talk about the best ways in order to reduce anxiety and deal with anxiety in life. Probably, I always say this, but probably this is the most important video that I'm going to do so far, how to deal with anxiety. Because if you can reduce anxiety in your life, you can live a life with less stress and anxiety. You are going to be happier and enjoy more life. So that's the first point. So the first thing that I want to say is that to some extent, having anxiety is normal and in some ways necessary, because it's a way that your body pushes you to do things. If you never got anxiety, you never stress about things, that could mean that you could be like fully controlling your actions by your mind. And sometimes you need like your body to push you to do things, like doing exercise, like socializing, like studying, like working, because otherwise you wouldn't be actually doing it. So a little bit of anxiety in some ways good to push yourself to do things. And it's like a mechanism that your body uses to start doing things. For example, me doing this video, I guess I feel a little bit of like stress or something in order to push my body to do it, because otherwise I wouldn't even do it. Okay, so the first thing that I want to say, so I'm going to go from less effective to most effective things that you can do in order to improve your life. So to improve your anxiety. So probably the basic things is like sleeping out of hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. So sleeping well is probably really important. Eating well, if you eat good food, then your body is going to work better, and if it works better, it's less likely that you like create more hormones or whatever. So sleep well, eat well. Those are the basics ones. Also, it's quite important relaxation. So basically what I do myself is just like every single day, 2 or 3 times a day, and not just when I wake up, after lunch and before going to bed. I always like lay in bed and I make my body relax because it has tension. And if I just like lay down without doing anything, my body starts relaxing. So all that tension I got accumulated, it diminishes, it reduces significantly. That's probably one of the most effective techniques that I start doing in order to reduce anxiety. Other good technique is to do exercise. If you do exercise every day, your hormones are released, and then like once you finish, you feel less anxiety. Okay, those are like the most basic things that you can do in order to improve anxiety. But actually, like if you do it, you are going to decrease significantly your anxiety. You haven't done it that much before. Those are probably the best way to deal with it at the beginning. Okay, second thing, it's okay, you do these things, this is probably going to help you a lot. But in order to go beyond, to go to our next level of reducing anxiety, or to our next level of peace and tranquilness, you need to start like changing your mental models. Which in some way you were doing it before, because in some way, you are like doing relaxations every day, you are doing exercise, you are sleeping well, you are eating well. In some way you are like more conscious about what is important for you, and you are more conscious about what you have to do, and you are more conscious about your limitations. In some way it's related to the first topic, but in this case it's even more profound. So basically, one really important idea is to release anxiety is to understand what things can you control with your actions and what things you can't control with your actions. And the things that for sure you can't really affect with your actions, don't worry at all about them. Don't worry at all, because like it doesn't really matter how much you worry about it, you are not going to change them. So you are like suffering about it unnecessarily in a way that is not going to change reality. So you are suffering for the sake of suffering, and it's going to give you anxiety, nervousness, and it's not going to improve in any way your life. Indeed, the opposite. You are going to be more likely to to make happen what you don't want to happen, because you are going to act more nervously. You are going to act, for example, like you don't want to get fired. If you every time you go to work you think that you may get fired, that's going to cause you to be less productive, to be more reactive to people, to be more worrying, to be less productive overall at work. So just focus on the things you can control. Don't focus on it. For example, the war in Ukraine. If you are unable to control what Russia is doing or what Ukraine is doing, and there's no point of like trying to control it. Yeah, you can donate money, you can give away things, but that's only the only things you can do. You cannot control Russia army or whatever. So that kind of things, don't worry about it. So if you do that, then you are going to be way more relaxed, because a lot of people, including me sometimes, for example, worry about things that we can't control. For example, the war in Ukraine. Doesn't really matter how much I worry about it, think about it, stress about it. It's not going to change. It's not going to change because of what I think. And probably not even because of what I do. Actually, I can help people. I can try to give away money. But I'm not going to control the war, regardless of my actions. Yeah. The second thing is like, even the things that you can control, don't worry about them. Just like take the action that is going to lead to the results that you want. And as long as you take the right action, even if you don't get the right result, you should be proud of yourself and you should not worry about it. For example, I'm going to give an example. For example, let's say you have an exam next week. Let's say that, well, next month, whatever. As long as you study and you learned everything you can, and you put all the effort that you can, and you do everything that is in your limits to get the result that you want, to pass the exam or whatever, even if you fail, you have been studying, you have been doing the work, you have been revising, trying to really understand the things, trying to do the exercise well. Even if you fail, you should be proud of yourself, because you have done everything you could. So the day of the exam, you shouldn't be nervous. Well, as long as you have, you shouldn't be nervous. You have studied, you have done the work, you shouldn't be nervous, because you understand that you have done your best. And if you haven't studied, you shouldn't be nervous either, because you understand that you are not going to, you don't deserve getting the result. So that's kind of a good result. So in both ways, you shouldn't stress anyway. So for example, play football. You should not worry so much about like winning a game or whatever. You should worry about doing everything you could to win the game. And if you have done everything you could to win the game and you don't even win the game, then you should be proud of yourself. Obviously, like, be analytical, and if you do everything you can, but you can analyze things and you can next time do it better, try to analyze it. But like, even so, when the moment comes to play, do everything you can and don't worry about the outcome on itself. Worry about doing the right things. For example, studying before the exams, revising, solving the doubts, understanding well the most important concepts of them, all the concepts that were in the exam. As long as you do that, you should be proud of yourself. And if you fail and you need to do the exam again, learn from mistakes. Learn what you can have done better, analyze it. But understand that you have done your best, and you should not worry. You should not worry about it, because you are doing your best. And you are doing your best, you should be proud of yourself. Even if someone tells you something, you should be proud of yourself, because you know that in the bottom of your heart, you have done everything you could to get the result that you wanted. Yeah. Another mental model that I want to say is that even if things right now are not going your way, even if now it seems that everything is super hard and things have no end, things can change really quickly as long as you are taking the right actions. You never know, maybe you are like single or something, and you'll go out one day and you meet some people, and then you start a relationship the next day, even you have been like 2 years without a relationship. So things can change really fast, dramatically. So understand that as long as you are taking the right action, understand you are going in a direction, sooner or later, probably you are going to arrive to your destination. And don't worry if right now things have been tough. Don't worry too much about it. Don't worry about like, yeah, it's similar to the previous argument, but it's more related to time. It's like, as long as you are taking the right action, sooner or later, you are going to get to the right destination. So bear that in mind and understand that like, it's okay that things are not going right now the best. And understand that things can change very quickly. And understand that it's important, even in the moments of stress, anxiety, to take the right actions and don't make mistakes. Because lots of times people, when they are under stress, under pressure, which is very difficult, by the way, they start doing the wrong thing. And that's when you fuck up. Keep doing the right thing, even when things are tough. Yeah. Okay, so those are mental models that probably are going to help you to have less stress, less anxiety, and enjoy more life. But probably if you want to go a layer deeper about like how to deal with situations better, probably the next step is how to deal with social situations. At the end of the day, we are social creatures, and we are just like wired to be like socializing and interacting with people every single day. And like the people who are like in an island alone for years, at the end they behave like animals. Because the main difference between humans and animals is that we interact socially. So if we stop interacting socially, then we will become animals again. So here the point I want to make is that you are able to deal better with situations with your co-workers, with your family, with your partner, with your friends, with people in the street, in restaurants, in shops, in whatever, in taxis, in parks, whatever. You are able to interact better with those people, and you are able to get more things out of that interactions. Then you are going to be better, you have less anxiety. For example, like a lot of people have anxiety, are not comfortable at work because they don't have a good relationship with their bosses or whatever. So you are able to deal better with your boss, then you are going to improve your life significantly, and you probably are going to have less stress at work, be more productive at work, feel more productive, and be more proud of yourself. So how to master social skills? Okay, so in order to make better interactions with people, I think it can come down to two things. So first one is social skills. Okay, so first, so social skills, yes, in some ways practicing, but like the main concept that you need to understand is that like, you're lighthearted, you have a lighthearted humor, you are funny, and you are not judgmental, people are going to like you. And that's it. That's basically that. As long as you interact with people are having a good experience, and as long as they don't feel judged, they are going to, and they feel important, they're going to want to be with you, and that's it. That's basically everything. I mean, people have a lot of pressure on giving an image or portraying themselves in a certain way to other people, to friends, family, and they are like exhausted about it. So they want to be free, and they want to act in such a way that they know that they are not going to be judged regardless of what they do. So they want to talk about silly things, have fun, just not being judged by how they dress, what they do, particularly what they do, because it's yeah. So yeah, I mean, they don't want to be judged. So as long as you are not judgmental with people, as long as you are making people have fun, they're going to be wanting to be with me, to be with you, and probably they are going to treat you well. I mean, obviously there are exceptions if you have you're in competition, that kind of things. But even so, even your competitions, although they can be harsh, probably they are going to be more respectful. You treat them well. And the other kind of thing that I want to say, which is similar to experience, but it's like emotional skills. So in life, sometimes you need to deal with difficult situations. For example, you're a professional football player, you need to throw a penalty in a moment that you probably miss the penalty, then your team is going to lose. If you score the penalty, your team is going to win, so you have lots of pressure. Or for example, in work, you need to do a difficult negotiation, or you need to fire someone, or you need to deal with make a difficult decision in a project, or you need to talk to clients who are like rough to talk to. So basically, in these situations, or you need to do a presentation in your job, or final project presentation in your school, whatever. Or you need to deal with people that you don't feel comfortable with. So in these kind of situations, the best way to, a really good way to deal with them better is to be desensitized to the emotions. For example, if you start doing actions, so every action which is like kind of risky, socially risky, like dancing in the middle of a club, or talking in public, or like or trying to convince someone about something, all those kind of situations creates a chemical reaction in your body, a hormonal reaction, and you generate chemicals in your body. However, you start to expose yourself to that situations a lot, eventually the chemical reaction in your body is going to decrease, because your body is more used to it, and the more used to your body is to something, the less response. It's like, for example, I don't know, like for example, if I'm just like sitting down or doing something, or eating, or just like driving, my body is not going to react, because I've done it lots of times, and my body understands that there's nothing wrong with driving the car. There's no bad consequences. I've done it hundreds of times, and it's okay. Nothing wrong is going to happen. So my body is not nervous. However, if it was my first time ever in a car, really old, when I was like 20 or 30, and I've never been before, and I see the car moving and stuff, probably I would get super nervous the first time. It's like planes as well, for example. However, because I've done it so many times, my body doesn't create any chemical reaction, or at least not that significant chemical reaction. So basically it's the same with social situations. If you've done it so many times that your body is used to it, then you your body doesn't react, doesn't generate chemicals, or at least it generates way less chemicals. And in that sense, if you have less chemicals in your body, you can act more mindfully, and you can deal with the situation better with less pressure. And your body creates less stress, because anxiety at the end in some way is like chemicals in the body. So you generate less chemicals in the body, then you are going to have less anxiety. And that was the video that I just wanted to do for today. Hope that you enjoy it, you find it useful, and see you in the next video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and see you later.